Hello everyone, you're welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast. This is a community for purpose-driven women who desire to live their dreams and aspirations. Our mission is to inspire you to live your dreams one day at a time while serving as a beacon of hope and guidance. We will be addressing various issues related to womanhood. Join me as we explore our journey of life together. I am your host, Women Hamilton. Hello everyone, you're welcome to another episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. It's great to have you tune in today. Today we're going to be taking a break from our series on emotional intelligence to talk about how you can be a career smart woman. So we recently had a webinar for our monthly webinar, and this was the topic of discussion. So our guest today is Eniola Coker, a certified HR professional with over 12 years of experience in management consulting, career development, and training. She is the lead consultant of Meg Consults in Abuja, Nigeria, and she has delivered several projects that have to do with recruitment procedures, employee training initiative, staff coaching, union and non-union labor relations, and basically boosting employee morale practices. So she will be joining us today to talk about how you can be career smart as a woman. A career woman is not just a woman who works a 9-to-5 job, but a woman who has identified her purpose and seeks to grow in fulfilling of her purpose through her work while making an impact and also earning a living. So if that is you, then this episode is for you. Stay tuned as Mrs. Eniola Peters shares from her wealth of knowledge and experience on how you can be career smart as a woman.
Like Uime has rightly said, my name is Eniola Peters, and I'm the founder of the Ready Set Work Initiative and also the CEO of Meg Consults. And Meg Consults is an HR and career development company. We help individuals get their dream jobs, and we help organizations get the dream individuals to work with. Yeah, so that's me. That's my summary. So I'm expected to talk about a career smart woman. And, I thought about it for a very long time. And I'm like, what does a career smart woman mean? I'm going to act like I'm talking to children. So I'm just going to go straight into the session. So career simply means an occupation, an occupation that is being undertaken for a significant period of a person's life with opportunities for progress. Now, one important thing is to know is that career is different from job. Like career gives room for growth. A job is just something you do just to pass time or just to make small income now. So when we talk about career, we're talking about the opportunity to grow. Now, a smart woman means someone that is intelligent and knows what she wants to do. And bringing the both words together simply means someone that is smart, that knows where she wants to be, and she's going in that line. She's progressing in that line. One of the questions I want to ask is, if you're working, why are you working? If you're not working, why do you want to work? Why do you want a career? Why do you have a career as a woman? When you leave school, why? What do you want to become and why? Are you studying the course you let's say, for instance, you're in a medical school. Are you in medical school because you actually want to study medicine and want to grow in that part, or because job jammed you? You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm going to go into a personal story because I told you, May, that I'm probably going to come from a story angle so that we can relate. All right. And I don't know if anybody here has had maybe years of experience or we're just all starting, but I really hope my experience is going to help you. Now, why do you work? To actually fulfill purpose. Because even in the Bible, God did not say, God created Eve to help Adam at the workplace. So Eve was not created to be redundant. Eve was not created to just be there, to be chopping money, to be soft life gang and not do anything, right? God created male and female, and he said we should work, right? Everybody is expected to work. So all these things I see now, all the things we hear in organizations about gender inequality, women being treated badly and all that, you wonder why. Am I the only one that wonders why? Because if God has created us to be equal, the only person you're not equal with is your husband, because he's the head and you are the neck. So why are there gender inequalities in the organization? Why do they pay people less? Why do they pay attention to men more than women? We have so many issues in the organization these days. And it is mostly recorded for women. I mean, okay, let me share this lady, this Zenith lady that became the CEO last week. Didn't we all hear the nonsense people were saying? Oh, she slept her way through, what's it called? She's from side chick to CEO, from this to that. If it is a man that slept his way through, would people come out to say that? Now, that's just an introduction of, what I want to talk about. We women, I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know what has happened in the past, that they have made us now look like, oh, our own job is to stay at home and be the mother of our children and not do anything with our life. Meanwhile, working helps us fulfill purpose. Having a career helps us to fulfill purpose, and we should not be pushed to the side. But you know one more interesting thing is that we women, we are the cause of all these things. We are the cause of gender inequality. We are the reason, because some women decided to come up and say, their own job is to be their husband's wife. They just want to be a stay-at-home mom, which is not, in itself is not bad. Do you understand? If that is what you're called to do. But we all have our own different callings. So I'm going to share a little bit. I'm just going to start now. So being a career smart woman, number one, you need to be confident in your capability. So I'll start my story. When I graduated from the Obafemi Awolowo University in 2010, I got out and I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do, And so I started looking for a job. I was one of those people that, when I was graduating, I said I wanted to work in a bank. Why? Because I am visual. I'm quite visual. I like what I see. When I see something, I like it and I want it, right? And I go to banks and I see girls dressing fine in the bank, all dressed up. You know the way bankers used to do that time. I don't know about now. Nowadays, they don't even dress again. But back then, you see girls dressing up and all that. And I said I wanted to be a banker because of how they used to dress. Are you with me? Good. And, after I graduated, I got a banking opportunity. Like God giving you your permitting you to, take. And the moment I got that opportunity, I realized I actually don't want to be a banker. I don't have energy for that kind of stress. Do you understand? I don't have that kind of energy. And I told one of my other friends, I just told her, I just called her, I said, do you want to work in a bank? She said, yes. I said, I have an opportunity. I was like, why are you not taking it? We are both job hunting. I said, no, I don't want to work in a bank. She said, how do you know? I said, no, I have thought about it very well. I have decided I don't want to work in a bank. And so she took the offer and went and, mentioned my name, and she got the job. And it gave me joy. Like, wow, this is actually very interesting. So someone can go and mention my name and get a job. It gave me pure joy, but I didn't know what it was. I'm talking about 2010, yeah, or 2010, yeah. And then after a while, people will call me randomly and say, hi, Eniola, do you have any opportunity around? I'll be like, oh, let me talk to someone. And by the time I talk to one or two people, they are getting a job. Job, everything job. And then I knew, oh yes, this thing gives me pleasure. What does it mean? And then I went online. I saw that it is a recruiter. That's what a recruitment consultant does. Help people get jobs. That is how I found my career path, right? And in that line, I got a job with Jobberman as a recruitment consultant, because at that point, I already knew what I wanted to do. All right? Naturally, I write CVs for people. Naturally, I give them career, I give them career advices naturally, right? And, it dawned on me that, oh, wow, so this is that thing that I really want to do. And after that time, I spent 3 years in Jobberman. I was on top of my game. I even started an organization with a friend, Pandora Services. Yes. And, this thing I'm talking about was 2012. We started that business 2012. We registered it. We're meeting big people, Dan Tata, Dangote. We're doing businesses up and down. I was making money. I'll recruit one recruitment like this. I'm making 1 million. I was living La Vida Loca. Please follow. I was super confident in my capability. Please take note. I didn't study HR. I didn't study recruitment. I didn't go to any training school, but I knew deep inside me that was exactly what I wanted at that time. And I was doing it so well. Like, it comes naturally to me. Please take note. Right now, pause, think, what comes naturally to me? Answer that question, because you will realize that thing that comes naturally to you is the path you're meant to follow. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. Now, let me continue my story. So, I worked in Jobberman for 2.5 years, and then I knew it was time to move, right? God told me it was time to move. I needed to learn the business of HR. Please follow me. I needed to learn the business of HR. So I was moving from the confidence I had in my capability. I was moving to now launching out. I was launching out into the deep. I was ready to take on the world. Also, I thought. And so I left Jobberman. I was at home for a month. At that point, my business crashed. My laptop was stolen because my laptop had all the CVs. I had over 100,000 CVs that if a client calls like this, I've done recruitment in 1 day. And that recruitment can give me 500K, 300K in just 1 day. My laptop was stolen. So I literally launched into the deep and I was confused. And then the Holy Spirit said, oh, permit me, please. I can be very spiritual when it comes to these things, because I believe my life is not simple. My life is spiritual. Please, so permit me when I keep saying Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, all right? Yes, I can make 100,000. What am I saying? 100,000. One role, I can make 500K. Depends on how much, the client has. Yeah, I just make cool money. This was 2012. Anyway, let me continue. So, and then I got a job with another person. And no, did I get a job? I got a call. And the person said, Eniola, come and work for me. I heard you're no longer with Jobberman. I said, yes. I said, come and work for me. I said, okay, no problem. And then I prayed, and the Holy Spirit said, yes, go. So I went to meet this person, and the momentum continued because I was super confident in my capability. But I knew I was launching out because I needed to get more strength. I needed to learn more things. I mean, sitting down, Jobberman and recruiting every day. Money wasn't coming to me from Jobberman. All I did was sieve CVs, do all those things and all. So it wasn't my thing, my personal thing. So I got this job with this guy, no offer letter. We didn't have any agreement on payment, nothing. I was doing it out of passion. Now, women, I'm not telling you don't do things out of passion, but there are processes and procedures to be followed. If you miss it, if you miss the process and procedures, you are going to regret a lot of things. And those were the things that happened to me. I entered the organization emotionally. I entered because this person, I couldn't say no to the person. And of course, because the Holy Spirit had told me, so there was no how much you're going to earn. There was no this, there was no formal offer letter, nothing. I was just working my butt off. And I was working as if I owned the organization now. As a career smart woman, ownership is one skill you need to have. It's the skill of ownership makes you swim in that organization like it is yours. Like you take it upon yourself, like this company is mine. If it fails, I have failed. That is ownership. It is one key skill you need to have as a career smart woman. All right. So let me continue my story. I started working with this guy 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And then the first 2 years, of course, my capabilities, I was still very confident in them. When it's time to do something, he'll say, oh, Eniola, go and do this. Oh, Eniola, go and do that. I had very good communication skills. I was super confident. Please, to be a career smart woman, your confidence has to be 100%. Now, I'm talking about confidence, not pride. Confidence, not over-sabi, not I am all that and more. No, you have to be confident in what you know. Be willing to learn, but be confident in your capabilities because it is so important. So this guy will send me, my boss then will send me, go and speak at this event. I'll go, honorarium was coming. I'll organize trainings. I'll train people, employability skills training. I was booming. And then after 3 years, things started going down. I realized that I was on one level. No self-development, no career development. I wasn't interested in being the best version of myself or being a better version of myself. I wasn't adding value to the organization. The organization wasn't adding value to me. Or should I say, I didn't see myself adding value. But I was there. Emotions. No salary. Emotions. Because I felt, if I leave now, what would this guy do? He can't do anything without me. Women, we are naturally emotional beings. When God created us, he made us emotional, right? And so, because we are emotional, we will be pitying the boss. We'll say, if he has the money, he'll pay. If he did this, he'll do that. You understand? And then, after 3 years, I was like, what is going on with my life? I now got to a stage of, if I leave this guy, where am I going to start from? This relationship now, you're dating a guy for 5 years and you're like, if I leave this guy now, where am I going to start from? Who will employ me? Who will see the value in me? Because I was already losing value. I had already stopped seeing the capabilities that I had. In fact, at that point, I was already thinking, I don't have all it takes to work in this organization. So he was doing me a favor by still keeping me, even though he wasn't paying me. That was what was in my head. And then, after speaking with a lot of women, I realized that is one major problem we have. A guy is toasting you. You are saying, thank God, though. A guy proposed to you. You are jumping up and you're like, not forgetting that without you, the guy's life is probably going to be, your presence in the guy's life is what is going to give him life. Are we together? But you are thinking in your own mind that, he has done me a favor by marrying me. He has done me a favor by keeping me in this job. He has done me a favor by doing this. Meanwhile, you are losing value in that process. So if the boss should just say one thing like this, you start shivering. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend my boss. And then I continued. I was there for 8 years. And the 5th year, That year 5, I had like 50 people walk up to me. Why are you still working with this guy? Why are you still working with this guy? Eniola, it's time to move. I'm like, no, it's not time to move, because I was emotional. At that year 5, I was about to get married. So I was looking for something stability, thinking, oh, since I'll now get married now, this guy will start paying me salary. Okay. There's nothing like that. So I said, because we didn't have that conversation. I'd already lost confidence enough. I wasn't even confident enough to talk to him as my boss. I was so emotionally attached. And when I mean emotionally attached, I don't mean we're having an affair. I mean, I was so emotionally attached to the point that if we make any small money now, I'm talking about recruitment that we do that will make 1 million. Oh, this guy will say, I have to pay my salary, I have to pay my kids' school fees, I have to pay this. Once the money comes in, this one will happen, this one will happen. So before you know it, money has finished, and I still don't have salary. And I'll say, I understand. And I'm sure a lot of people here, we've gone through that, or we are going through that, or we will still that will still happen to us. And if that will still happen to us, if it doesn't happen to you now, please take it as a note. Your boss is not your husband. Your boss is not your husband. Your company is not Jesus. Your company right now is not Jesus Christ. It's not salvation. It's not what will take you to your next level. Once you start realizing that it is time to leave, I'm not adding value to this organization, or this organization is not adding value to me, I am just in one place, I'm not developing professionally, I'm not developing personally, please, it is time to leave. Forget emotions. The only person you're allowed to have emotions with, please, is your husband. Your boss is not your husband. Your company is not your marriage. It's not your life partner. Ladies, please take note of that. I was on emotional blackmail for 8 years, and I'm not joking. And guess how I left? At a point, I was now beginning to feel, everybody now knows me as this guy. So you hear Eniola, this guy. Eniola, let's say his name is Mr. Tenny. Eniola, Mr. Tenny. Eniola, Mr. Tenny. I didn't have my own personality again. I was foolish. I had forgotten my dreams. I had forgotten my dreams of, this is the person I want to be. I was meant to be a public speaker, a programs coordinator that everybody in the world will see me as of now. By now, I should be on the same level with Funke Bokno. I'm sure we know Funke Bokno. I should be, if I had continued on that pedestal, I should be on the same level with Funke Bokno, if not more. But because I had a career pause, I was foolish enough to make certain decisions out of emotions. Ladies, we are emotional being quite all right, but we are only allowed to be emotional with our partners, not with your boss, not with your working place. So let me continue. So the 8th year, the 7th year, my husband at that point was already saying, this guy is not even being fair. You're married, you have a child. At least you should be paying his salary. But no, forget when we want to go out like this, and I see that there's no fuel, I have to call him, sir, please, can you get, I need fuel money. And this guy will be sending me 2K, please. And then under my superiority, I would employ people to work for him, and I'll be paying them 100K, 150K. And I'm the one paying. I'm the one that was signing off the salary, and I wasn't collecting money. Please, how foolish can that be, right? And then one day he came to me and said, he wants me to go and learn. Please, my core is HR and recruitment and career development, which means I train people, I help people get focused and all that. If people come to me with this kind of my story, at that point, I help them get a path in life, and, they do better. I have so many success stories from this period. And, most times when I think of leaving, I think of these people, and I'm like, if I could have helped these people, maybe I'm actually meant to be here. Please, that's a lie. If you are thinking, even though I'm going through stuff in this organization, but I'm still helping people, maybe I'm meant to be here, it's the devil that is lying to you. It's your mind that is deceiving you. You are not meant to be there. It is time to take up your capabilities and move on, because time waits for no one. Year 5, I was saying, a lot of people came to meet me, it's time to move. It's not time to move. Opportunities came, job opportunities came, everything came. I was saying no. In fact, I had one job opportunity that they were offering me 750,000 naira per month. I said no. I called one of my friends. I gave her the job. I just told her to go and meet the guy. I was supposed to meet the guy at a restaurant. I just told her to go and tell the guy that Eniola is not interested in the offer, and show the guy a CV and say, I was like that. Yeah. So she called me and she was like, 750K, are you kidding? I'm telling you, for our first 3 months, she paid tithes to me. And I'm not even joking. She kept saying, no, this is unbelievable. How can you do that kind of thing? This one, because I already told the guy I'm not interested, but this person I'm sending, she's fantastic. She's going to do a great job. And the guy was like, no, you have seen my CV, you have seen my LinkedIn. But I was foolish. If I had made such smart decision, mind you, it wasn't because I was married or because I had children or because I don't want to work. I was just emotionally foolish. Are we together? And so I continued in this my foolishness. And then one day my boss came to meet me and said, it's time I go and learn what's it called? Business development, so that I won't just sit down and be doing recruitment. I'll be bringing in the recruitment jobs and be doing. He wanted to use me finish. That's when I said, my core is not business development. My core is HR. And the least you can do is bring in the job, even though after all, you're the one that'll spend all the money. Because I wasn't collecting salaries. And it was like, what do you mean? This one. I said, no, you can't push it to me to go and learn business development, to add to your organization. Men are born to be selfish. Now, I'm not saying this to spite anybody. I'm not spiting any man. I have a husband. I have a son. So I'm not spiting any man. But men get used to things. Imagine you have a boss. The moment you enter, the first month, it tells you no salary. You say, oh, you understand. Second month, it tells you no salary. You say, okay, sir, no problem. The third month, the guy will not even think about it because he's already used to it. He has gotten used to the fact that you will understand, and he will not give you any salary again until you spark and you say, sir, what is the meaning of this? No. Give me my salary. And if you notice, those kind of men, they will not go and meet a man. No. It is a woman they will come and meet, because they understand that women are emotional beings. We are understanding, we are cool, we are calm. We just understand why they are not going to pay us. And true, they will come. And you say, it's okay, I understand. Thank you very much. Do you understand? Sir, we understand, no problem. But a guy will not understand. Is that guy, sir, are you okay? Why won't you pay my salary? Or the guy resigns. But we women, because we have somebody sponsoring our life, we have husband, or we have boyfriend, but we are understanding. This life is not that hard. We are understanding. Please, a charismatic woman is not emotionally understanding. You are giving your right, and you work and you get your right. Are we together? So this is my boss. I decided, okay, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm not doing again. But I couldn't leave because I was emotionally attached, and I began to think, how will I leave? This guy, will he survive without me? Hey God, if I leave, this, that. And then suddenly, an opportunity came for us to move from Lagos to Abuja. I was like, oh, great. This is the perfect opportunity to leave this guy. Imagine, I was still emotionally attached. And then, what's it called? I left, came to Abuja, and I was still working with him. Hey, you see my life. I was still working with him. And that time, now decided to be paying me 40K per month because I had relocated. I deserved some money. I was collecting 40,000 naira per month. Was I foolish, right? And so we had this big project, over 35 million naira project in Abuja that I helped him secure because I was now in Abuja. And the guy said, he will give me, I think, 10% or something, which was supposed to be 3.5. And then the guy came after the whole project and all. He said, he didn't really make enough money from it. So he gave me 150,000 naira. At that point, I was already, my head was already turning like, what kind of wickedness is this, right? only for him to send me a report. I was supposed to finish up the report, and I saw that he actually made a profit of 35 million. That was when I knew, okay, this foolishness has gotten to the height of it. And then I stopped working with him. So picking myself up back was hard. So I had to tell myself some things which I want to share with you. I've shared some already, but I'm just going to run through it. I said, number one, I told myself, Eniola, don't take things too personal. He had access to the money. You gave him the opportunity. You made him feel you don't need his money. Men like it when they feel like you need them. I didn't give him enough reason to feel like I need him. I felt I was sufficient on my own. So he wasn't feeling guilty about not giving me money. Then the next thing, I said I was being too emotional. So instead of being emotional, I composed a very long message. I left emotions on the side. I told him point blank everything he has done, how my career has gone down the drain since I joined him, how I never grew, how I don't have any experience, how my life has this, da. I removed the friendship I had with him. I treated him like a boss. And then I told him, I said, he's not my husband. He's my boss. The only mistake I made was treating him like a father. He was not my father. He was a boss, right? And, I treated him like a best friend. And I told him, you're not my best friend. You're not my friend. You are my boss. But I had already made the mistake of treating you like my friend. So anytime you come to me telling me, oh, you want to pay your child's school fees and all, I forget that I have a child. I'll treat you like a friend. I'll say, it's true. Pay your child's school fees and move on. Do you understand? And then I now sat down and said, okay, to be honest, there's no wasted years. So I said, okay, this 8 years that I spent with him, I need to list out some of my accomplishments. What have I achieved in this last 8 years? What are the things that I did that I'm proud of? I started listing them down. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't what I wanted, but it wasn't so bad. So which means I learned something even while still feeling foolish, right? Even though I know that I should be better. Then I wrote that down and I took stock of my, my achievements. And I said, okay, which areas did I develop? Even though I realized that I didn't really develop. In fact, I had a low self-esteem. I wasn't even ready, to do a lot of things. And then I didn't have a goal. One of the major problems that happened was I didn't have a goal when I joined this organization. I was just passing time. That's why we didn't have offer letter. We didn't have discussions on salary. Well, there was no goal in mind. So I just joined, I wasn't growing. I wasn't interested in growth. I didn't have anything penned down for growth, right? And to be a career smart woman, you have to put growth in your mind. And, I didn't have any career development plan. I didn't, plan myself like, okay, in the next 2 years, I want to be here so that in the next 2 years, if I didn't see myself there, I would know it's time to move. I didn't do all that. And as ladies, to be career smart, you need to do that. And then I realized that on top of everything, I got married, I had children. I didn't factor in all that before I joined the organization. So when everything was happening, to me, it was selfish to go and start telling him, oh, because I now have a child, I need to be paid salary. And he didn't stop at, he didn't stop at anything to tell me he had to pay his children's school fees or his wife's car issues or something. Do you understand? But the most important thing is, life was good for me. I was getting money and, I had a good work-life balance. I wasn't stressed at the work. So maybe I felt a little bit too comfortable in that life, which a lot of us, as women especially, a lot of us make that mistake. Once we are too comfortable in a line, we just feel, I'd rather be here where I'm not getting stressed. I mean, I could have a work-life balance. My husband can still see me. My children can see me. I had that kind of time. I had it. I'm traveling with my child, my husband. We're all, every trip around the world was a vacation for the two of us. So we're having fun. But was that what I really wanted? Is that what you really want? Good. And then, what's it called? I didn't trust myself enough. I remember one day I brought my child to the office and he told me, I think it's time you need to get house help. I said, okay, if you pay me salary, I mean, what am I going to use to pay house help? He was like, don't worry, we'll pay the house help for you. I said, no problem, I got the house help. Because I don't have money. I can't send child to school. I can't have house help that'll stay in my house. But I felt, I was, no. That place was a very bad place, to be honest. And a lot of women have been through that place or are currently in that place. When you're just there, you're just standing there. You're not moving back. You're not moving forward. You're just there. It's a very bad place to be, honestly. And, anytime he gave me a feedback, I would get so upset. Like, after all I'm doing for you. Women now, we like that sentence. After all I've done for you, you can still talk to me this way. After all I've done for you, I'll get so emotional when he gives me feedback. Instead of me to take a constructive feedback. But how could I take constructive feedback if I'm not getting paid? So these were all the mistakes that I made. All right? And I was comfortable. And then, when it was time to start my organization, because I was under his shadow, I could not come out to own the business. I just had a what's it called? A faceless Instagram account. Nobody knew it was me. I was getting customers but under G because I was under his shadow for a long time. So I felt, if anybody sees this, they'll say, maybe I'm going behind his back to do his work or something. So you can imagine, it took me a long time to actually come out of this thing. And when I did, I realized that it was a toxic relationship. And once you're in an organization and you have noticed that your boss is toxic or your colleagues are toxic, if you can't do away with them, you address it immediately. Are we together? You would address it immediately. You don't waste time. Because as women, we are tempted 100% of the time to keep quiet. You experience sexual harassment, you are tempted to keep quiet. You experience, this no money thing, no salary thing, you'll be keeping quiet. You experience, an abusive boss, you keep quiet. So a boss is telling you, are you stupid? And you're saying, no, sir. Sir? No. No. You don't have any right to tell me, am I stupid? You're my boss, you're not my father. You will tell him straight on. But why? Because we are women and we are afraid. A career smart woman is confident, doesn't take nonsense. You are not expected to take nonsense. You are not expected to take people's nonsense. That is what a career smart woman would do. You are not expected to be responsible for somebody's inactions. The reason why a lot of women don't have a work-life balance is because we are too afraid to drop the work. And guess what? Nothing will happen if you drop the work for the weekend. Nothing will happen if you close 5 o'clock. Except it is in your offer letter that you work round the clock, 24 hours, even weekends and Sundays. If it is not there, there is nothing that should stop you. There's nothing. But women were too afraid. We say, my boss is sending me emails at 11 a.m. See, the only time you can see my husband up at 11 a.m. is if he's sending invoice. 11 p.m. is if he's sending invoice. And that's his personal business. It's not organization. You can't catch him. Okay. And that's a man for you. If it is not important, if they are not getting something from it, they will stay. Why are they staying late? Except the company culture calls for it. Like a KPMG, for instance, the company culture calls for you to work around the clock. The company culture calls for you to, to forget every other thing, put your work first. They even write it in their offer letter. Your work comes first in anything you do in life. If you can't work with that, I can't be working with you. It's calling me at 1 a.m. For what, sir? I'm not your wife. You're my boss. No, there are boundaries. A career smart woman sets boundaries. A career smart woman knows what she carries. She knows, she's confident in her capability. I keep saying this thing because a lot of women, we're not confident in what we have. We're not confident in what we can do. If I ask every woman here, are you confident enough in what you do? Most of them just say, yes. But think about it deep down. I write CVs for people. I met a client once and said, oh, so you're a lady? I said, yes. Are you sure you can do this job? I said, is that you give me or you don't give me? It's as simple as that. I can't beg you to give me a job that will benefit you. It's not possible. But before, I'll be begging you. I can't even do it for free, self. No, I can't beg you. I'm sorry. Because I'm a woman does not make me less of who I am. I feel like I'm shouting. I feel like I'm shouting because I'm so passionate about this thing. And I don't want people, ladies, women, to make this mistake. So I'm just going to run through a few points that I noted that a career smart woman should do. Once you have all of this, then you can call yourself a career smart woman. Do you understand? I hope I've been able to communicate some things, and I'm making sense more, but I feel like I'm shouting. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to run through a few things now. So a career smart woman is educated and, constantly develops a skill. Now, what do I mean? It's not enough for you to think you have the knowledge. It is for you to constantly educate yourself. Now, like I told you people, now, CV writing was like an ability, like something that came with my full package. It's not like something that I learned. But after a while, I had to get certifications. I had to join membership just to, put myself out there, right? And, it can be certification, can be going for trainings, going for networking events, just to put yourself out there. That is what a career smart woman would do. And thankfully, we have so many CEOs that are women these days, women doing great things out there now. So there's no excuse to just stay in one organization and one guy is talking to you anyhow. Please. All right? A career smart woman, secondly, a career smart woman sets clear goals. Like I told you, I didn't set clear goals when I joined the organization I was talking about. I didn't know what I wanted to do in the next 5 years. So what are your career goals? Smart women have specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. That is what we call SMART goals. It will help you guide your career path. All right? You have to set goals. A career smart woman knows networking. You go to events, you talk, you are confident in yourself, because if you're not confident in your capability, you can't go for events and speak. It's not possible. You're assertive, and you stand your ground as a career smart woman. It's not time for you to be going left, to be going right, to be saying, hey, I'm not sure. They tell me about yourself. You say, I think I'm a no. You have to be assertive. You have to be confident. You have to talk about yourself. If I tell everybody here now, tell me about yourself in one sentence, you will not say, oh, I think I like to, do this. I think I like to do that. You would say exactly what it is. You will be assertive. Learn about yourself. Stand in front of your mirror and tell yourself, I deserve the best and I'll get the best. A smart woman knows how to balance work and life. Like I said, one of the things that made me feel, oh, if I leave here, where do I start from, was I had a very good work-life balance. But because that work-life balance, has been something I've always told myself, I can never negotiate. I have to have a work-life balance because I am a family woman. I am more family-oriented. I would rather sit in my house and family than be going up and down. Anything I do, my family comes first. So, no. Even if you beg me, hey, Eniola, please, I need this CV, I need this consulting, I tell you, okay, you get it, but doesn't mean I'll now lock my children in one corner. I say, don't come. I don't want to see my children. No. I don't do that. I had a conference that I organized for a client last year, and they expected me to spend more than 3 days in Lagos. I mean, was it 4 days? I told them, no, I have children. They said, is your husband not around? I said, my husband is around, but me, I'm not around. Thank God. It's important to me. I take my children out. We do stuff no matter how busy I am, because family is important to me. Now, your own work-life balance depends on what is important to you. A career smart woman knows how to, balance her ambition with her personal life. When I say personal life, it doesn't have to be family. It could be, I take time out to exercise. I do this. Something that gives you pure joy. You have to have that work-life balance. So you're not just focusing on your career. Some women, all they do is spend time in the office. There's one woman that inspires me a lot. Her name is Dupe Olushola. I keep saying it. I want to be like that woman, but it's too late, because we're like, she's just like a few years older than me. She's the CEO of Transport Hilton now. That woman inspires me a lot. She has a fantastic work-life balance, and she's doing amazing things. You can Google her. She's doing amazing things. She's I want you to come and speak at an event. If she's free, she's there. That's called a work-life balance. Not someone that she goes to parties, she's always, you can't see her, just carrying life on her head. That is a woman. That's the career smart woman that has work-life balance. So it is so important. A career smart woman is emotionally intelligent. A career smart woman is resilient. Doesn't fall in the place of adversity. When there's a small issue, you fall. You're adaptable. When things change, you change with the tide. You're not feeling down. You're not feeling, hey, God, my enemies are after me. Or maybe your boss does something, maybe gives you a feedback, and you're like, hey, God, my boss doesn't like me. Everything is not about you. Don't take things personal. If you're working in an organization and everything is by the books, you're following everything, maybe your offer letter, everything, your job description is by the books, everything is correct. They now give you a feedback. You now say, oh, my enemies are after me. This guy doesn't like me. Stop that. That is emotionally unintelligent. You're just attaching emotions to how your boss treats you, or how your boss talks to you, or how your boss or your supervisor is relating to you. You now say, he doesn't like me. Stop it. It's not about you. Nothing is personal. Except cases of maybe sexual harassment, cases of insults, and all those, verbal insults now is what I'm talking about. Then you can now start escalating that. But if it is a feedback, for instance, they tell you, oh, you're not doing well, this is what you're supposed to have done, you now start crying, my boss doesn't like me. No, forget about that. Nobody's interested in liking or not liking you. Everybody wants you to do what you've been called to do. It's as simple as that. All right? So a charismatic woman is resilient. You face circumstances, you bounce back. You don't say, oh, because this guy give you a feedback, you say, I'm leaving the company. A lot of us do that. Somebody say, I used to get feedback when I was in government. Now here, things like, Eniola, what kind of CVs did you even shortlist? Meanwhile, I'm making money on the side. And I'm like, God, shortlist or not, I know what I am doing. I was so confident of myself. Maybe I made a mistake, or maybe I put emotions into recruiting for someone. But I knew what I could do, all right? And lastly, a career smart woman is financially intelligent. Hell, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but it's so important to understand your personal finance. It's important to invest in other things and, negotiating financial matters at work. My own problem in life was I didn't negotiate financial. So I was broke, as a brokest. But a smart woman is financially intelligent. Money doesn't grow on a tree. You work for your money. And to think, growing up for me, I was working for my school fees. I'm not even joking. I was working for my school fees. My father had a cyber cafe. He would say, come to the cyber cafe. Well, on holiday like this, I'm working. Oh. The day I don't come, you tell me minus 1,000 naira from your school fees. I knew the process of working for your money. And then I now became the woman that didn't even negotiate salary because I was emotionally attached. So you see, as career smart women, we have a lot of work to do. We are emotional beings, but not at the place of work. All right? We are not supposed to be emotional at the place of work. If you're going to go home with anything today, please go home with 3 things. A career smart woman is emotionally intelligent. A career smart woman is confident in her capabilities. I don't mean just confident now. It means you're confident in what you can do. That means you are self-aware. You know what you can do. You know what you can take. You know what you can't take. Right? You're confident in that thing. And then the third thing is you are financially intelligent. Please. All right? Thank you very much for making me shout. I've had so much fun. Ime, thank you for having me on this platform.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I love these interactions, everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. I hope you were inspired to keep taking steps towards living out your dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to share it with other women and leave us a review on our social media platform, which is in the description box. Also, feel free to subscribe to our channel to get notified of new episodes. Till I come your way on our next episode, keep living, keep dreaming. Bye for now.